This episode contains discussions of death, and specifically cancer. Listen to your own discretion. It is Thursday, July 4th, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. The artist we're talking about today is another artist who I will likely be talking about a fair bit during the year, and it's kind of surprising that this is my first time talking about him. But today we're talking about Sufjan Stevens. A hard name to pronounce, I know, just from looking at it, but it is Sufjan. Thought it was Sufjan, but it's a Persian name that I believe comes with a sword or something like that. But anyway, Sufjan Stevens is an American musician. He is famous for claiming that he would do an album for each of the 50 states of America, and he did two. Now, to his credit, they're two of the greatest albums ever made. Illinois, in particular, is an all-time classic, but he never did the other 48. And he said later that it was like a marketing stunt. But hey, we got two great albums out of it. Anyway, the song we're talking about today is a song from his 2015 album, Carrie and Lowell, which is a concept album that he created after his mother died in 2012, and it's kind of like about his relationship with his mother, about her dying, and about his relationship with his stepfather, Lowell Brahms. This song specifically is an imaginary conversation between Sufjan and his mother talking about her dying. It is quite possibly one of the saddest songs ever recorded, so, strap in and get your tissues ready. We're doing it today, of course, because it is the 4th of July, so I had to. Yeah, let's listen to it now and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. It's always the ending of that song that gets me. So yeah, Carrie Stevens died of stomach cancer. It was apparently a very quick death. Sufjan said that she was on a lot of pain and on a lot of drugs, but she was aware. It was so terrifying to encounter death and have to reconcile that and express love for someone so unfamiliar. Her death was so devastating to me because of the vacancy within me. At that point, I was only interested in communicating my love for her unconditionally. There was a reciprocal deep love and care for each other in that moment. It was very profound and healing. I find it interesting about this song and about Sufjan as a person, and this album really talks about it extensively, but him and his mother had kind of a tumultuous relationship, really, because his mother didn't raise him. He was raised by his father and his stepmother, and only occasionally visited his mother in Oregon. And they had kind of a tumultuous relationship at parts, and this song seems to be kind of like the healing of that, the kind of reconciliation of it. I think we're just going to go into the lyrics, because it's easier to provide the context as we read it. So, the evil it spread like a fever ahead, it was night when you died, my firefly. What could I have said to raise you from the dead? Oh, could I be the sky on the 4th of July? Calling the cancer the evil is not an uncommon image, but to start the song with it really catches your attention, Also, the idea of it spreading like this is kind of relevant to forest fires, which is referenced in the chorus. We'll get there in a sec. There's a recurring thing in this song of referring to each other as creatures that can fly. I don't know if this was a thing that Sufjan and his mother actually did, or if it's just to fit the song, but it's a really interesting series of imagery. He calls her a firefly here. Could I be the sky on the 4th of July, he says, to raise her from the dead? It's like, the 4th of July, the American Day of Independence, is typically celebrated with like barbecues and fireworks and shit. And so the sky on the 4th of July is full of bright, explosive color. And so I think he's saying like, he's saying that being like life, Could I be the sky on the 4th of July? Could I bring you to life like that, right? Light up your night sky. And the chorus is Carrie talking back to him. Well, you do enough talk, my little hawk. Why do you cry? Tell me, what did you learn from the Tillamook burn of the 4th of July? We're all going to die. So, the Tillamook burn was a series of forest fires from 1933 to 1951. There were 4 forest fires total. That's hard to say. It destroyed a total area of 350,000 acres of old-growth timber. In Oregon is where this happened. And this is a very famous event, very destructive, obviously. And he compares the Tillamook burn and the 4th of July, or rather uses them as like juxtapositions to each other. Someone on Genius said that it's like the Tillamook burn was this famously destructive thing that went on for a while and then full of this raging fire and all the trees died. The 4th of July is a celebration, it's life, and it's all of these fireworks going off and explosives and fire, but it also ends. And she's saying about learning this lesson from these things that we're all going to die, which is an interesting thing to take from that. And it's a really interesting, like that, just that line, we're all going to die, from his mother is, it's the central thing of this song. And it's what makes it so hard hitting, I think, because it's her trying to reassure him everything dies, but it's still sucks, you know? Sitting at the bed with the halo at your head, was it all a disguise like junior high, where everything was fiction, future, and prediction? Now where am I, my fading supply? So, you know, the halo, like she's an angel. Talking about junior high being fiction, future, and prediction, you know? The artifice of children playing and guessing what their future will be and predicting stuff. And saying, now where am I, my fading supply? It's almost like he feels like a lost child, you know? Did you get enough love, my little dove? Why do you cry? And I'm sorry I left, but it was for the best, though it never felt right, my little Versailles. When I listened to this before, I always thought that I'm sorry I left, but it was for the best is like his mother from beyond the grave apologizing for dying, which is very sad. But knowing the context, it seems more like she's apologizing for not being there for him when he was a child, which is also very sad and very real. You know, did you get enough love, my little dove? Obviously, I have a personal stake in liking that lyric, but it's so... Oh, God. Now, the line, my little Versailles, always confused me. Someone on Genius said that it's probably a reference to the famous water fountains of Versailles, and it's just talking about how much he's crying, which makes sense to me. The hospital asked, should the body be cast before I say goodbye, my star in the sky? Such a funny thought to wrap you up in cloth. Do you find it all right, my dragonfly? So, Sufjan was born into a Islamic cult, we'll just call it what it is, a strange subset of Islam that his mother adhered to. And the implication here is they're asking, should they wrap her body, as is Muslim tradition, to wrap the body in cloth when buried. And then we get, shall we look at the moon, my little loon? Why do you cry? Make the most of your life while it is rife, while it is light. While you do enough talk, my little hawk, why do you cry? Tell me, what did you learn from the Tillamook burn or the 4th of July? We're all going to die. And then he repeats, we're all going to die 7 times. The first half of that chorus there is her telling him to make the most of his life, cherish the good times while they're still there, go on without me and live your best life, live on in my memory and my honor, you know, and then referencing back to the first chorus, the Tillamook burn of the 4th of July, we're all going to die. So once again, like saying, it's okay, live on without me, and then reassuring him, everyone dies, this is just the natural state of life. It's the cycle. It's the circle of life. And then the outro being we're all going to die repeated over and over again makes it sound like it's like a mix between him reassuring himself and also despair, like that realization of we're all gonna die. And that really gets me every time, especially the very last one where the music cuts out. Ugh. This song is, it's such a tearjerker in so many ways and so beautifully produced. There was a live concert film called Carrie and Lowell Live, and when they perform this live, it's much the same as it is on the album, but the We're All Gonna Die is repeated over and over and over and over, and the music builds up and like the smashing drums and everything, it just becomes this whole transcendent experience, and it hits really hard. I'll definitely link that version in the description. This song is, it's a lot. This whole album's a lot. I highly recommend it, but like you have to know what to expect going into it. It's a lot. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for us today. I don't think I have anything else to say about that. So in that case, I will tell you to subscribe, give me a like, leave a comment. What did you think of this song? What do you think of this album? What do you think of Sufjan's other projects? Why is Age of Odds so underrated? Why is Impossible Soul one of the greatest songs ever written? I'm rambling now. Yeah, thank you so much for listening. Please tell a friend. And I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.
It is Thursday, the 4th. Oh, it's the bottom of the 9th. It's the 4th of July. Sure, that'll be the bottom of the 7th. Let me tell you, this is going in the outtakes. I just finished watching season 3 of The Bear. And there's like a particular episode with a character in hospital talking to their mother. What an episode to watch today while talking about this fucking song. Anyway, ay.